This is a bit sad. Hello, Steve White, Trek Boy 89 for Steve Arts 89. I was just having a quick look at trekmovie.com to see if there's any Star Trek news to talk about. Since there's no new episodes to review, I guess I have to be proactive to sort of, see what's happening, to see if there's anything to comment on. And I saw that Star Trek Prodigy, or Star Wars Prodigy as I call it, because the first season was basically a Star Wars show, in every way, is getting a Emmy nomination, a children's Emmy nomination. And I was like, okay, I guess I should comment on that, because the show wasn't bad quality-wise. The characters were good, the story was good, the action was good, the CGI design of everything was beautiful. It just was a Star Wars show. It wasn't Star Trek. It didn't have any humans. It was basically a renegade crew in a little Millennium Falcon sized ship, basically outrunning like a Darth Vader character, and it just was nothing Star Trek about it. But it was still a good Star Wars show, so I actually enjoyed the show. It just wasn't Star Trek. But so I thought, well, of course, quality wise, they'll probably get an Emmy, and I had a closer look, and it's for sound design and editing. I'm like, oh, that's sad. They're like, we got an Emmy for sound design and editing. It doesn't really count as a technical award for a children's show. It's like, this is sad. Now I know a lot of the, proper Star Trek shows have gotten Emmys for sound design and makeup and stuff like that, or nominations, and we've given attention because, they're real shows, and because of the sort of the discrimination against genre shows, they kind of get a hard sort of, they don't have a lot of luck with Emmys, so we tend to, I think, give them a bit more credit when they get any sort of nomination. But because this is a kids show and there is an actual kids awards, it really should do better than, sound design and sound editing. It's a bit sad. So I was getting ready to do the video, and I looked, I'm like, oh, really? Oh, okay. So there's not much more to say about that. It's I mean, I guess you've got to celebrate it, and I guess if you want to win it, you got to try and promote it. And, obviously if you win it, that helps overall the series, because you can say two-time Emmy Award, or I don't know if it won the first one, I can't remember, but two-time Emmy nominated series or something, But at least the original Star Trek animated series, which is a great show, won the award for, best children's. So it wasn't like sound editing or anything like that. I have to go back and check what the actual name of the award was, but it wasn't for like a technical thing. So, they'll never top that. I'm sorry. But yeah, and just a reminder, Prodigy is not saved. It's not renewed. I was really annoyed when, after it was, basically all they did was, after the show was cancelled and thrown off Paramount because it was costing them money because no one was watching it, all these people who love it or are screaming about it being cancelled, they weren't watching it, and if they were, there weren't enough of them, and I'm guessing it's just a vocal minority making a big noise when the general audience paid no attention to the show. They all gave themselves a pat on the back, said, we saved the show, we're just like the people back in the 60s that saved the original Star Trek. No, you're not. They actually got the show renewed for 2 seasons, because it was going to be cancelled in season 2 and cancelled in season 3, because as soon as Paramount bought Desilu, they wanted to get rid of Star Trek because they didn't have any faith in it, they didn't care about it. It was very expensive and it rated well, but didn't rate well enough to justify the cost as far as they were concerned. So they got it renewed twice. They were actually legends. They actually kept the momentum and got Star Trek made into a movie, which turned into a movie series, which turned into the syndicated TV shows next to it. They actually did something. These fools, all they did, well, they did nothing. They just carried on, did nothing, got no attention, and then the show was just sold to Netflix, I think international, because they still hold the rights to show the Star Trek TV series. They got rid of Discovery the second they could, because that was costing them money and getting no views, but they still had the rights to show, I think, Star Trek The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Enterprise, the original Star Trek, everything other than the new shows that they didn't want because no one watches them. They bought Prodigy. I'm not quite sure why. I guess because they just need more content, and they have a lot of kids, a large audience for kids and that. So, and it's not a bad quality show. It's just a Star Wars show, and I guess they wanted a Star Wars show, so they bought it. And they're acting like, oh, it got renewed, we saved the show. No, it's not renewed. You're not getting a 3rd season. They're not making any more episodes. They're going to screen the show, and that's it. And that's normally what happens to a show once it leaves whatever platform it's on, it gets sold off to someone else who I guess doesn't have as good a shows, so they take what they can get. So it always end up being shown somewhere. Most of the shows that get thrown off the platforms they were, funded by or designed for usually go somewhere else. That seems to be how it works now. Before it was like, DVD video straight to DVD or something like that, or cable TV. Now it's just it just goes onto one of the streamers or maybe one of the 3 platforms where everything's paid for by advertising. That's what I thought was going to happen to it, but Netflix bought it, and I didn't realize why, because I didn't realize they still had the rights to all the other Star Trek shows to watch them, because Paramount acts like they're the home of Star Trek and the only place that has them, and that's actually fake PR, fake advertising. So that's sort of why it went to them. So okay, I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of this achievement.